Fantasy players, this is Dan S. with another episode of Dynasty Orphans. I was on a couple days ago talking about the FFPC and Dynasty Depot. This is Series 1, Episode 2. And we're going to get right into it. I think the last time I made a few mistakes, and I was talking about buying teams, and I said buying leagues. Well, you don't buy leagues, you buy a team. I didn't have the dates quite right. The rookie draft, the NFL rookie draft, is at the end of April, and right after that draft is when you start to draft your dynasty teams, so rookie teams and free agent teams. So it's very fun, but we're going to get right into how do I buy a dynasty orphan? How do I adopt a dynasty orphan? A dynasty orphan is a team that somebody doesn't want anymore. So you have to determine whether you want a team that's already good and you can just put some pieces together and make it a good team. That team's going to cost more. Or am I going to buy a team that is at a big discount and have to build it over the next couple of years? So let's get right into it. And I'm on a site right now called the Dynasty Depot. This site here is where we're going to actually buy the orphan. We're going to adopt the orphan from Dynasty Depot. This site is really super cool. But before we do that, we have to have an FFPC membership because we're going to actually play against other teams in our league that we buy a team in from the FFPC. So if you're not a member or if you haven't registered to the FFPC, I suggest that you go there first, fill out all the information, and then we can buy our team. Either here you can buy it, but I suggest you go over to the Dynasty Depot. That's what I found is the best. Just go to Dynasty Depot and click this buy right here. And you can see there's a bunch of different teams. The last podcast I also made a mistake and said I didn't have exactly the right information. On FFPC in Dynasty, you can purchase a team for $77, $250, $500, $750, $1,250, $2,500, and you can actually purchase a dynasty team, an orphan, for $5,000. And there's 12. It's a 12 team, so the payout we can look at payouts later. But I'm going to click off of all of those because I'm going to play the $250, the $250. I think the first place is $1,300. It is $1,300. First and second buys get $300 a piece, I believe, or two. We'll look at that too. And I'm going to do standard. I'm not going to do a super flex, best ball. I'm not going to do a super flex, which is 2 quarterbacks. I'm not going to do a best ball. I'm just going to click it off, and then I'm going to apply. Okay, so now Dynasty Depot registers all these really cool teams on their site, and you can go through the teams, and it's got the rosters. So for $250, you're going to buy this team for whatever it says here, buy it now, or I'll show you how to bid on it. So it's a $250 entry, but this team, this person who owns this team and is allowing us to adopt it, is going to sell it for $49. So it's a discount of quite a bit. And then the team underneath it is also, oh, he's a click, he's a bid. Whenever it doesn't say buy it now, we can go into this team here and we can put a bid of $10 or more. Well, let's just look at this team. It's Dynasty League 223 Team 12. So he's got Dak, Kamara, Montgomery, Dalvin's handcuff, Alexander Madison, Latavius Murray, who will probably drop, Davis. He's probably droppable. Fournette, CD, Tyreek, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans. That's good. Gallup, if he can get back. Christian Kirk, Hawkinson. That's a pretty good team. So we can go back and look again at some of the other teams that have money on it, because right now we don't really know. If you're new, you don't really know like what's a good team, what's a good value. When I buy the team and I go into the lobby with the other 11 teams, how's my team going to stack up? I'm going to show you that today. So if you're going to hang out with me and learn about this Dynasty Depot and how to draft a competitive Dynasty team, you should hang out and watch this, because I learned a lot over hours and hours of research. So one of the reasons that I got into Dynasty out of my normal classic leagues, where you buy a team, or you have a home league and you play one draft, you play that team out, and then at the end of the year, you just kind of throw those players back in. I used to like that, and I still like it, but I think in that situation, if you did a lot of research during the dead times, like January, February, March, this time of year right now, for the rookie draft, and then you're kind of waiting throughout the summer and seeing where these guys land, you do all that research. You don't want to just draft one team and then throw it away at the end of the year. If you win the league, that's great, but all those guys go back. If you were on guys like Waddle and Jonathan Taylor and Javonte Williams and some of the guys I think that are going to be really good going into the future, you want to keep those guys. So in the Dynasty Orphans, you get to keep the team. And so when I look for a team on Dynasty Depot to buy, I had to learn a lot of things. So you can play like all year and then win this league, and you can actually make money. Here's the 250 standard league, which is what I'm in. I suggest that. That's a good start point. First and second seed, 200 apiece. If you are the league winner at the end of the season, you get an extra 1,100. So it's 1,100, 500, 250. So that's pretty good. I mean, what is that? Four times your money, almost. And then there's $500, $2,500 for first. If you want to invest in a $750 league, $3,700 for first. So we're going to concentrate though today on the 250s. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to take a look at a team. What I learned right off the bat was you can buy a team based on your experience level. Like if you think you're a really good player, you can buy a team based on your experience level and probably get that team to a pretty good level in a certain amount of time, in a certain period of time. But it's got to have a few things. Like this team here is $49. You can make a bid on it. It's got Rodgers. This is not Javonte Williams for Denver. This is Jamal Williams for Detroit. Ronald Jones, Chuba Hubbard, T. Jones, Johnson, Williams from Kansas City. I mean, he doesn't have any running backs at all. I mean, like, you couldn't even start one. Debo, Beckham, Odell's going to be hurt. Ridley, we don't even know if he's playing football. Chenault in the 101. Like, okay, for me, if you're new and you're just getting into buying an orphan, this orphan can't compete right away. You're going to have to do a lot of things here. And when you buy this team, if you were to buy this team, you have to remember, you might get the discount of $49 for this year, and you can play the whole year. But then next year, you have to buy it for $250. So if this team isn't in a position next year when you're paying the $250 through your waiver wire, through your trades, which you don't really even have anybody to trade here except Debo, it's really going to be a tough sell. So for me, this is a pass team. Even though it's at a big discount, I can't risk the fact that I'm going to have to manage this team. I couldn't even buy this team even for $1. No disrespect to the owner, but for me that's a tough sell. So let's go down here and take a look at this team. It's the 151, team 11. It's the owner wants $399, so he's selling it for whatever reason. He has too many teams, or maybe he just has to get out of it. And let's see what pieces he has. Can this team be competitive enough to maybe take a second place this year or third? I can get my money back this year, and it's good enough in the years to come where maybe I can win the top prize. Because I don't really play fantasy like to make money. I just want to have a lot of fun doing the research, being in the competitive atmosphere. I'm looking at all the statistics, setting my lineups, doing the rookie draft. I work really hard during the day, and so when I get home in the evening, it's fun to pop on Dynasty Depot. You can look at some teams. It's fun to go over here on FFPC, and I can look at my teams. So let's look at this team. So it's got Wilson, Eckler, Najee, Robinson, Gordon, Eckler, Najee, Wilson, that's solid. Waddle, Amon St. Brown, Cooks, Jones, Cortland Sutton, Chris Godwin. He could come back, and even if he doesn't this year, you know, he's a good piece to have, and you have an injured reserve. And the 112. Okay, so this is a pretty, I mean, I'd be happy with this team. And we're going to look for some others, but let's just say we wanted to put a bid on this team. There's no bids on this team. So let's just say it expires Saturday at 1:33. This is fun too, because I can put a bid on this team, and then now I'm waiting until Saturday and seeing if anybody else bids on it. And for me, I mean, if I can get this team for, it's probably like, I think it's a good team. Look at the team. What would we bid on this? Wilson, Eckler, Najee, I mean, that's solid. James Robinson, if he comes back, Waddle, I mean, it's not like probably going to be the best team in the lobby when we get in that lobby. And I'll show you this Dynasty Nerds site with the League Analyzer. This thing's unbelievable too. It's going to show you some of the leagues that I'm in, and we can look at where I lined up. So what you do is you go to Dynasty Depot, you buy the membership. I think it's $49, or it's a little more than that maybe if you want to be in the contest that they have. And then you can get a Dynasty Nerds Dynasty GM membership, and then down here you sync your teams. And then it's got all this information. And I mean, I could talk to you guys forever, or whoever's watching. I'm gonna leave my Twitter handle here, just so that you can, send me a message on Twitter if you want to talk, at RotoRam1. So I will set that up here, and also you can put a like on here, subscribe, send a message if you want to see more of this, because before you buy a team and spend any money, you should learn what I learned about spending money and maybe wasting money next year. Because the team's not going to be competitive, and I'm a little worried about it. That's why when I found Dynasty Depot and I can sell my team, I was really happy. So we're gonna pop a bid on this. What do you think? Like, the entry fee is $250, so let's just put $200. Let's place it. I'll place it right now. Current bid $200. He wants $339. If I click that button right now, which I did a couple times already, I got the team. I win the team. In fact, if you go right here, and you can see my active bids. I have this bid we just did on this 151. I also placed a bid for 265 on 219, and he wants 300. Ooh, I might get this team. The owner can decide to sell it to you for less. That's another good strategy too on the site, because if you have a idea, maybe you want 2 or 3 teams, you can just bid what your budget is. If you get the team, you get it. But don't bid this year's budget. Make sure you have enough for next year's entry fee. You don't want to bid too many, because it's pretty fun. This team right here, okay, I bid 265, so I'm actually bidding more than the entry fee to get into this league with this team. It's got Trevor Lawrence, Jonathan Taylor, Antonio Gibson, James Conner, who I like, Ramondre, who's got upside. I think Singletary's going to have a good role this year. I don't know what's going to happen with Cordero. Maybe he's give you a few weeks. DJ, and this is just a standard league, not Superflex, 1 quarterback. Okay, so I got those good running backs: Jonathan Taylor forever, Antonio, James Conner, getting older. I got DJ, Ayuk, and Jamar. Like, this has got Jamar Chase on it. Jamar and Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I feel like this team probably could win, right? What picks do I have? Because, you know, you go to the rookie draft and you have some picks. So it's a little weak on picks. It's the 109. But maybe somebody would trade me 2 firsts for next year. So I have 2 firsts next year, which is supposed to be a pretty good draft class of rookies. Yeah, that team's totally worth 265. In fact, you know what? It's almost worth the 300. What's the big deal, right? 45 bucks. Should I buy that team? I can't buy any more teams. I want to buy this team. I'm just going to watch it for a while. I bought too many teams already. It's really a fun site. So I'm going to let you go with that. You guys make the decision. If you have any questions, it's at RotoRam1 on Twitter. If you want to drop a like or something like that, great. Message or hit me up on Twitter. Feel free to retweet this to other people that might be interested. I also have a partner that I do this with, so we're constantly talking on the phone. You know, I can do some more later on that. All right, this is Dan S. at RotoRam1 if you want to go over and send me a message. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you later. Out.